Hey guys, grandest of the risings. I'm just getting up, so I might be puffy pufferton. Don't you love how no matter what you grow through, what the energy is, what you're growing through, that the next day is brand new? Yay! You know what I mean? Yay! I did some releasing yesterday. Oh man. You know, when you decide you want to heal, right? Hold on, let me overthink this. You know, when you decide that you want to heal, we can really go through some things, can't we? Things that we need healed from in a emotional feeling type way. When we're forced to look at ourselves, to face ourselves, and the ugliness that we still hold within ourselves. Like me, getting all upset, getting angry, yelling, and doing all this, when at the end of the day, will it make or break my life? At the end of the day, does it really matter? And then you have to stop and take a look at yourself and go, shit. You know, when people die, how crazy things get. Because everybody wants this, and people want that, and people want this, and people want that. And I was just like, I'm so glad I'm not like that. And then I was. I just couldn't see it till it was brought to my attention. Oh, I got fucking chills. It's so much cooler today. It's going to be in the high 70s starting tomorrow. Like in the 70s. From 100 and something. See, in Kansas, they're like, it's 98 degrees, but it feels like 110 or it feels like 106, right? It's just so crazy to me. So I moved out here from California in 94. And when I put the TV on, first of all, they had thunderstorms when I came out here. And we just came from California where we had that big earthquake in Northridge. Northridge was right over the hill. You know, right over the mountain from where I was at. So we were super close to the epicenter. And, and the thunderstorm out here rumbled, and it was so loud. I was just like, what the fuck? But it was just thunder. I know, it was crazy. It sounded like an earthquake, the way it was rumbling through. I know. Working on it. Actually, I haven't even thought about. There was one day I didn't really smoke cigarettes. And that happens. And sometimes I do. But it's a whole new world. Sorry. That was horrible. Oh my gosh. If I edited my videos and was able to actually edit them, then, God, you guys, you know, I'm 106 pounds. So I haven't, if anything, I've lost a pound or two. I don't weigh myself very often. But that, a whole handful. Look at how fucking I have no muscle anymore. I mean, that's disturbing to me, but not disturbing enough for me to work out every day. I'm embarrassed of it, and I'm going, God, it's horrible. Sorry, I didn't want to smoke in front of you guys. But it's just the human. And we can, the beautiful thing about the human, we could change it if we really want to. It's my concern when I sit and look at it, but I don't want to do anything about it. So there's that. You know, it goes back to what I was saying yesterday. Is how bad do you really want something? Then you'll make the effort to do it. You know? So obviously, any muscle that I did have, I've lost. And that's why I don't gain any weight. And any weight, if I was to gain any weight, it's just going to be fat. I'm a skinny fat person again. God, I've been here before. It took me years of working out. Years of working out to change that. Because I'm not a big person anyway. But it can be done, right? Before I lifted weights. Obviously, if I'm talking about this, there's somebody who's having, what do we call that? Body dysmorphia or something like that. I feel you, man. Yuck. Like, I have to put a bathing suit on? Ew. But maybe somebody's been, oh my God, you guys. So who in my collective is wanting to work out get in shape, get healthy? Lean muscle. I'm telling you, like, body weight stuff, you know, like yoga. Is it called plyometrics? Anyway, there's another name. Anyway, you know, core strength is super important. Start while you're young. Your core strength, especially if you sit all day, you know. Listen to me, I don't even do that shit. I just have to be very careful with my back, so I got to make sure I find a way where I do that all properly. So I had somebody bless the shit out of me. Bless the shit out of me. And I've got to do something nice for this person. If I can get him in one spot, you know? But this year's almost over, you guys. My frickin' birthday's in September. What about this tsunami shit? That big earthquake. Earthquakes happening everywhere. And, you know, with all this solar flares and solar activity and CMEs, and I can't remember what CME means, but coronal mass injection. That's not what I meant to say. I can't even think of the word. It affects our earth, right? I almost said moon, but yeah, for some reason, I know a lot of people talk about Mercury retrograde. Maybe that's what my issue is. But, you know, the earth, she's waking up. She's just doing what she does. There's the sun. It's starting to shine through, and I'm going to look at it. Oh, yeah. Woo. That sun is bright, boy. Oops, sorry. How would we know where we could go to be safe from volcanoes? Of course, there's earthquakes with volcanoes. Is there a safe place? Is there a safe place we could go, we could visit? What just came to me is, what matters most to you? What matters most to you? At the end of the day, I mean, we never know when our time is up. I mean, some people do if they get sick or whatever. But I'm just saying, you know, I just found out yesterday somebody else passed away, 42 years old, of a heart attack. You know, you just never know. You just never know. You just never know when your time is going to be. So, if you knew you were on limited time, what would you do with your life? What would be important? What would matter the most? Spending time with friends and family, being around those you love, spending time, you know, you know what I'm saying? What's going to matter the most? What's in your heart? Hear that beat? What's in your heart? Get off me, bug. Get off me, fly. I actually hit that with my hand. So these flies are fucking weird these days. Dang, these glasses need to be cleaned up in this bitch. I'm going to pause you and see if I get any messages come through for you this fine Wednesday day. I'm sitting here and it was 1, 2, 3, 4 I saw it, so 12:34 on the timer. And it was like hearing somebody, not literally hearing, but what was coming through was, you know, when is my time going to come? You know, when is my return? How long do I have to be in this? And I do want to say this for you. What I'm getting is, it's not like this is something, well, somebody may be really heavy in that right now, but it's not how you always are. You know blessings are coming. You know things are coming, but it's like, but when? In a way, that but when was probably mine. It's not exactly how it's coming through to me in the energy. I'm trying to put into words how you're feeling. I don't think anxiousness. And somebody else is coming through, they're anxious because they feel. Because you feel and you know that something is just right on the tip. Oh, that's weird. Something, smells so, grass. Oh, it smells so good. The world is so beautiful today. Looks like there might have been a lot of spraying, so expect rain in my area anyway. Within a day. Like you're right on the cusp. We've been hearing that forever. I know we've been hearing that forever. Oh my gosh. Lord, do I know? Do I know? I'm getting hand mudras right now. This is a hand mudra, and I can't remember what it means. There's so many. I'm being shown like points. If you think of your body like an electrical circuit, I can't even see me at all, the reflection. But hand mudras, you know, certain way you fold your hands, certain positions you hold, like Tai Chi. Why do people that do Tai Chi get so, with just slow, calculated movements, get to be ripped? Isn't that interesting? Rather than lifting a bunch of weights like you do here in the States. Concentration. Man, Bruce Lee was the shit. Ip Man was the bomb, dude. Oh God, I got chills saying that. But there's different points. Like right here by your eyes. Right here. Right up in here. Up in here. Up in here. There's all these points. Right? Wait, no, it's down here. There's one in here. There's one right here. There's all these different points in your head. All over your body. I'm hearing that you could push to release. It's like release energy through the body. You know, I was just getting self-care also is like we spoke about, which I haven't done, which I don't do anymore. Mindfulness. I'm being mindful of it now to get back into that. You know, I'm learning how to be just sober. Yeah, I don't get high, I don't want to. That's not the point. But it's the rewiring of the brain from the high brain to the sober brain. You know, I'm 55, going to be 56, and I've spent from my mid to late 20s all the way up until my into my 50s with breaks in between, but I just count it all as one big long thing because the breaks don't outweigh the length of the time I spent medicated. And I'm hearing, so be easy with yourself. But massaging and rubbing, stimulating, you know, especially those of us that don't have anybody. And even those of you who do have somebody, but they won't sit and rub you, we've got to take that on ourselves when we can. Or go get a deep tissue massage. Or call on me, and I can get to the places. Yeah, I'd love to help you. Stimulating, waking up the cells, waking up your skin, you know, massaging it just, man, it would do wonders for you. It'd do wonders for me. They're doing work over here. They're always doing work around here, it seems like. Tearing shit up. But, so what do we do in the times of we feel something's coming, we know something is on the verge, on the edge, on the cusp? So how do we wait and hold that space and hold that dream and hold that moment? Hold on to that dream. Hold on to what we know is coming in like peace. How do we break our old habits of falling into that space of, oh God, is it really going to work out? What am I really going to do? I mean, how am I going to, I'm being called here, I'm being called there, but how am I going to do that when I have this, that, and the other thing? It's a process. But the most important part is, what do we do while we're waiting in that space? We just continue to learn and grow. And when things come to us, and you guys are getting good at this now, right? Right? When you're shown, oh fuck, I'm acting like that. Oh shit, I'm one of those things that I talk about. Chances are, if we're talking about something, we're talking about ourselves, but we just can't see it, even though we think we're not that. I was shown that yesterday. I'm like, oh God, I'm one of those people. And that's not from a judgment. It's just, the fine line of when we begin to heal and we no longer act and react. And, well, I don't know, I was reacting big time yesterday. But it was all part of my growth, right? But when we have healed and we look at, and we're in situations with other people that can't see what we can see within our own selves, and we know they can't see it within themselves, we may talk about that. But remember when we were like that? But remember, we still are like that. We're still a work in progress. It's like remembering who you are, where you came from. Realizing that at one time you were like that, but you still are a work. You're still that clay. Being molded. By our higher self, by our divine self, by the divine, by the God, by the source that's in us, that's in everything. That is literally in everything. Frozen in time. Taking all these little particles and the way things work, taking all these little particles, and then they move all around and they come together and then they form what you see before us. A manifestation of our thoughts, of our energy, of our feelings. See, the thing about the human, it's all about feelings and emotion, and that's what drives us. That's what makes things happen. Like this. You wake up, you can't find something to wear, you stub your toe, or show me from that movie, or that documentary, whatever, The Secret. You wake up, you stub your toe, or whatever you do during the day, can't find your tooth, whatever. Whatever throws you into a tizzy. And then, from then on, it's a domino effect. Everything happens. You hit every red light because you're so angry. And anger is such a strong emotion as well. But love is even stronger. It's easier because we're taught, and in our world, because it's just flowing around, even though you can't see it, all the energy is fear. Fear and anger. So that one seems to be more easier to come into with all of the collective, because that's the most of the collective. If you think about all the people, well, I don't know, because I'm in the United States, so it's nothing but plastics, cardboard, sky. There's nothing but fake here. Yeah, there's good people. I'm living in the United States. I'm a good people. But for the majority, they're all about fuckery. making us sick and blah, 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 but so it's easier for us to fall into that anger and lash out like I did yesterday, you know, and the day before. But then you have to also figure, like with me, I don't really talk to a lot of people, okay? But the people I do talk to, that's the kind of conversations we have. So therein lies the toxicity. What do you do when it's your own children? That you know, helps keep you trapped in a cycle of bullshit. You just cut them off and don't talk to them? Or sit down and have a conversation and say, hey, look, all this affects me and my energy. You know? It's like a broken record. It's the same things over and over and over. Change something in your life. But my energy and my life matters everything to me. Because I'm more aware, maybe we can tell them. I'm more aware. They're going to get triggered, maybe. Get mad and get all, ooh, that they're coming from their ego. That's going to have to be their problem, right? I don't know. This is something I'm going to have to do. So that's why we're talking about it. I know out there, everybody has somebody in their family, friend group, a spouse, or something that drives you crazy. That helps keep you locked in a state of ness. You know what I mean? So, what do we do, McFly, in that situation? Well, this is when we go within. I'm going to stop here because I just looked up and it's already going to be 28 minutes, and I don't even know if I've said anything that's useful. I hope so. I apologize. I'm going to upload this anyway because I'm sure there's something. If I said something, whoever runs across this video, even if it's just one fucking word, one sentence I said, there's something in it, hopefully. That's always my intention. And my intention also is Namaste. May you be bowing. I bow to you. And together we get through this. Even though we're not together sitting across from each other in person, we could be together in energy, right? Like holding your hand. Like we're in a circle. I heard drum circle. I'd love to go to a drum circle. But like holding hands. With the same intention of love. Unity. Peace. Peace is a side effect of love. Our peace can be broken by outside influences, but we don't have to internalize it and have it affect us. And that's the part after we do our healing and stuff like that. That's the next step that we're learning, how to keep our peace in chaos. You know? We're just that clay, that God, the universe, that our higher selves is being molded. Got to add a little more water on, you know, we're being molded. Think of it as the first creation, right? If they say came from clay and all that, right? It is, just use that. We had to be made. We're being molded in His image. We can call Jesus a he, a his, because he was a man that walked around to wake us up the same as we are. The same as we are. With that, the same God, the same spark that's in us. Why do you think Jesus says that we too are like him? Think about it. You got to get past all the programming of what... Anyway, we're being molded. We're the clay. We're the clay that God is molding. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Peace.